Video walkthrough on a Heartland Fuel. We'll start in the back. You are pre-wired for backup camera. Now this does not have a backup camera. That's going to be something that you have us install and install yourself. It does use power from the marker lights, so the running lights on your tow vehicle need to be on for the camera to work. Coming around over here, got a ladder, 250-pound capacity. All you do is pull these pins out and the whole thing will pivot down, making it a lot easier to climb up on the roof, which I definitely recommend doing every once in a while. You want to check the rubber roof material itself, you want to check all the sealing around everything. Out here you do have an onboard tank, which is where your generator will pull from and where from your fuel pump will pull from. Oh, I don't have the key for this one. I don't have the right key for this to open this to show you. But in there is a fuel pump, like your one at your gas station, so you can fill up your golf cart, your dirt bikes, whatever you're towing with this, and then to turn that on and off, it's right out here. Then you have a tank. You can read how full it is. And then right there is where you fill it. 30 amp show cord. This is your show cord. It's about 25-30 feet long. And then I'll put it right in the back compartment, right in the toy hauler portion, so you guys know exactly where to get it. And you do have a satellite input if you have a portable satellite, or a cable input if you're going someone that provides cable, you can hook it up through there. Your side seals, every once in a while you're going to inspect them, make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. If they are, take it in. We can do what's called a slide out maintenance, or you can buy the necessary materials to do it yourself. We sell those here. Moving along, you have a city water connection right here. That's where you're going to hook your hose up for city water. Right over here you have a spray port, quick disconnect spray port, so you have a little sprayer on the outside, spray your kids' feet off, dog, whatever, if they got sandy or muddy. Water heater is super simple. Then you got your plug in there for you. The only thing you guys will have to do when you use it is turn it on. It'll start filling automatically. Definitely recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want it sitting halfway full of water. It'll start to get stagnant. Before you drain it, crack your pressure relief. Oop, there was a little bit left in there. Water will squirt out. It'll squirt out way more aggressively than that. Once it stops coming out, snap it closed. Then you can take your plug out to drain it. If you don't do this first, you're going to get a bath because all that pressure is now going to escape out of there. And if it was running, you're going to get a hot bath. A few more other things. If you're going to run it on electric, make sure that switch right here is set to on. Right now it's off. And then I recommend cleaning back here quite often. I would say 4 times a year. Clean back behind your water heater. Over here, got your 2 dumps. One's a gray, right there, and then you have a gray and a black. Definitely recommend making sure those valves are closed before you take those caps off when they're on. And then I always do my black tank first, so the other one has the black tank on it. Let that drain off, and then I'll do the gray tank. That'll allow me to flush out the hose with the gray tank water, so I'm not carrying around a hose with black tank water on it. And then you can store your hose right in this tube right here. It fits right in there. Access to your generator, so if you can perform any maintenance on it, oil changes, check the air filter and whatnot there, check the oil level. You can even start and stop it from out here if you wanted. Pre-wired for solar, you just have to get the kits you need and all that, plug it in there, you can have solar panels. That's just going to trickle charge your batteries. Port info right here, full load of water, cargo carrying capacity on there. This is the most important number, 80 psi. That's what you want to go off of. They are filled to 80, so you don't have to worry about it for now. But every once in a while, you are going to check that to make sure they are at their proper tire pressure. Got you a battery right here. It's a Group 24 RV marine grade battery. I recommend taking it out in the winter so that you don't lose any power from it. Because sitting out in the winter causes the battery to go bad. So take it out, store it somewhere warmer, your garage, your basement, anything like that. And then if it's going to be a long time between trips, I recommend disconnecting the negative leads off your battery. Right here, 2 dual 30-pound cylinders. They are filled, so you don't have to worry about getting them filled. Right here is your selector. It's an automatic changeover regulator. It's pointing into this tank. It's going to pull from this tank first. Once this one would be emptied, it'll automatically switch to pulling from this one. If this one were to be on, we'll make sure they're both off for now, actually. However, this does not switch, indicating it has switched to what tank it's pulling from. So keep that in the back of your mind. And then some people split it in the middle thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't work that way. It's one or the other. Sometimes if a customer takes their camper in for repairs and I see it like this, I always kind of chuckle because I know that's not right. It's one side or the other. Power tongue jack with a light. Definitely beats hand cranking that every day of the week, especially one that's quite as heavy as this one. Chains, as you know, you cross them, you have a breakaway right here. This will get hooked up with your truck as well. That's connected to a box underneath with a pin in it. If you were to come unhooked, it'll pull the pin out of the box, activate the brakes on the trailer, keep everyone safe. And then you got your 7-way down here. This is what you'll hook into your tow vehicle. It allows the brakes on the trailer to work, and then all the running lights and the turn signals and whatnot. Come in here, storage compartment. Got the sprayer for that spray port. Got your manual cranks right there. One of them will be a manual backup for your tongue jacks, and then one of them will be a manual backup for your stabilizer jacks. Speaking of stabilizer jacks, here they are right here. You have a switch for the front and the back. Now, these are stabilizing jacks. These are not leveling jacks. Do not try to use these to pick up the front of the trailer or the rear. They can't support the weight of it. They're just meant to be snug down to the ground to get all the shake and shimmy out of everything. If you want it to be level, use your tongue jack to get it level front to back. If you want it side to side, as you're back it in under some blocks under your tires to get it level side to side. Once these are snug down, those will lay flat, but they're kind of hard with the asphalt the way it is right now. Like I said, stabilizer. If you try to lift the front end of this up, you're going to amp out these motors and you'll trip a self-resetting breaker, and then you'll have to wait for that to reset to use them again. If for any reason that breaker were to fail or fail to reset and it was still working somehow, you might risk bending these jacks and ruining the motors. If that's the case, you take it in. If you come in with bent jacks, that's not warranty. You bent your jacks because you misuse. So the only reason I'm being a little firm about it is I want everyone to know how the right way to use their stuff. Do you have a black tank flush, so as you're dumping your black tank, you can have a hose hooked up to here, and that'll allow you to flush out your black tank. There's a little nozzle in the tank that'll flush everything out as you're going. Cable outlet for the outside, as well as outdoor power. All your outdoor power is GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit. If one will trip, they're all going to trip. And you have a mounting bracket behind this wall built into it for mounting a TV outside. Fridge and furnace. You want to make sure you clean quite often. Clean your fridge up in here. Every once in a while, take this panel off and clean it. And then clean in the fridge, clean in your furnace quite often. They make screens you can put on these. They don't recommend you run them with the screens on. But that's good. It'll keep road debris out of there. It'll keep insects from building nests in here. Fresh tank fill. This is where you're going to fill your onboard fresh tank. Just rest your hose in there. Turn it on. It'll start filling up. Don't wait until you start hearing water sputter out everywhere. When you see it full on your monitoring panel, turn it off. And then, just like your water heater, I recommend draining it after every trip so it doesn't hold water or become stagnant. And your fresh tank drain is right there. Alright, a few more things on the outside. You have access to here. One of your cranks will work for here for your spare tire. Back jacks right here. All your sealant on the outside is warranted through us for 90 days. So every once in a while, you want to, after those 90 days, check your sealant and do some spot sealing. Alrighty then. Well, as to not get dirt all over your nice floors, I'm going to come in on this carpet and wipe my feet off a little bit. Here's your main control panel right here for a lot of stuff. So you have your controls for your lights, cabin lights. You have auxiliary lights, which do your lights on the outside. You have cap lights, which do the lights on the front cap. I think these auxiliary lights do the ones in the back too. Yep, they do the back lights. These ones right up there. Then you have porch light. You can do porch or awning, one or the other. Awning, super simple. It'll extend. We can't go all the way, we got that ladder in the way, but we'll go as much as I can. Actually, we might be able to clear it. It looks like we will clear it. So your awning does not stop automatically when it's out. When you see that bare black tube like that, and the flap hang down, you're all the way out. They are adjustable. You can grab this large part down like this to lower one end for pitch. So if it's raining, you can have water pitch off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge. If it starts storming real bad, high gusts of wind, roll your awning up. You don't want the wind to take it away. That'll ruin all the fun of everything. If you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, as soon as it gets sunnier outside, roll it back in, let it dry off, and then you can roll it back out for use again. Because if you hold it up with water, if you have it holding moisture, next time you roll it up again, it might start to be smelly. You might have black streaks in it because of the buildup of mildew and mold. Then you do have your controls for your slide out. That whole section right there is a slide out. You notice that right there, fold sofa up prior to moving sliding room. That sofa right there, and we'll show you how to do that. So then you have to where you can read your battery here, how full your fresh tank is, how full your black, how full your gray, how full your auxiliary is. Your auxiliary is just going to be a kitchen sink right there. Very simple here, right? So we'll go on to this bed lift you have right here. So as it sits right now, if I were to lower everything, the bed will come with it. And you can see right here. Watch. See how the bed comes with it? So, if you want your bed to stay up, but you want to lower these to use as couches, all you gotta do is take these pins out, pin them into here. Sometimes you have to lift up on the bed pusher. Yep, you have to lift up and pin them into that spot where the white disappears. See how it disappears? Lift up the bed, put the pins in there, all four corners of the bed portion. So this, even over here. Now when you hit down, just your couch is gonna come down. That's very hard to do one-handed. But your couch will come down. It'll come down to about here. And then you can unfold these portions. So to unfold these portions, because they'll fold and then fold again to create a backer, you gotta unlock them here. Pretty self-explanatory. Now if you have it lowered down without the pins, they both go, the bed will go to about here, and the couch will keep going. And you can leave the couch like this as a bunk to sleep on. If you're gonna use it as a bunk to sleep on, or even if you have it set up as a couch, have your legs folded down. So you push this pin right here, and you fold the legs in. See? So they'll make contact with the ground, so it's not holding all its own weight. Alright, come over here, radio, super simple, hit power. Oop, that was already on. You have different zones. Zone 1 is inside. If you turn inside off, oop. Zone 1 is outside. It's flip-flopped. So if you have zone 1 on, it'll just play the outdoor speakers. If you have zone 2 on, it'll just do the inside speakers. You can have them both on if you want. Presets here. Push and hold to save presets. You have play, pause right here. Skip tracks on your channels. Bluetooth. Cycle through modes here. You have auxiliary port. Headphone jack. You probably won't ever use the headphone jack. USB. USB does not interface with this. It's just so you can charge your phone. Very simple, huh? Alright, we'll come around more in this bunk area. You have these right here. Squeeze these. Rotate them. That way if you're pulling something in here, golf cart or some dirt bikes or something, you can open these out to somewhere to give it the fumes to vent to. Do got some table legs here. There is a table that you can use for here. Pop them table legs in here. You can have a table so you can sit to eat there. This table also unfolds, so when you have this bunk into couch mode, you also have a spot to sleep. Not sleep, but eat. See how this legs are off-centered? The one that's this way, you're going to want to have on the ramp part. That's what's going to keep your table sitting even though the floor isn't even. Plenty of tie downs in here. This is the bed I was talking about. The reason you don't want it down when you use it as a couch. You see these legs right here? They touch the ground, and if the rubber comes damaged or anything and they start sliding on the floor, you might scratch your floor up. Once it's down like that, you can grab it inside like this, lift up. So it's a bed now, but sorry about that. When I was fumbling with showing you how to do this couch, my finger hit the stop button. So we can come back over here. This controls your ceiling fan up over there. You can change your speed of it, and then you can reverse the rotation of it. Thermostat, tap it. First thing it'll ask is your fan mode, auto, high, or low. Auto, low, high. Let's get high. Oop, there you go. Recommend running on auto. Auto is going to allow it to cycle on and off at whatever you have it set to. That way it doesn't freeze up. Tap it again, you go to cool. Tap it again, you go to furnace. Very simple. The only thing I like to tell people is these can be finicky sometimes. Sometimes if you hit up and down, almost every time you hit up and down at the same time, it switches to Celsius. So tap them both again to get it back. But over here, propane and carbon monoxide gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12-volt system. So if there's ever any leak, it'll beep. It'll do an alarm. If your battery up front starts dying, that'll do a, it'll do a chirp saying it doesn't have voltage to operate correctly. Fridge, super simple. You have on or off, auto, or gas. Auto is going to default to 110. That way, if that's what it will do. If someone trips over your show cord at the campground and lose power, it's going to automatically switch to running off for propane for you. Now, unlike your normal fridge at home, these two take about anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, depending on the weather outside, for them to get to operating temperature. So keep that in mind. Over here, microwave works like your standard household microwave. It's only going to work when it's plugged in or running off the generator. And you have a fan and a light. Cooktop, this does fold up and back. All you gotta do to light them is turn it to the flame, twist the sparker, and they light up. Oven works a little bit differently. Turn that to the flame, push and hold. As you're pushing and holding, you twist this, and what you're trying to do is get this pilot in there to lit. Once it's lit, you can turn it to whatever temperature you want. If you plan on cooking again in a few hours, if you turn it to the flame, shuts the burners off, but it leaves the pilot on. Definitely recommend turning the whole thing off before you go to bed. And you do have a light, which turns these knobs on, and it does the oven light. You do have a TV in here. It's just hooked up to cable right now. And you should have cable. Well, you can run it off your antenna, and then you should have a remote for it. I'll make sure you can find your remote for it. Should be a bag. Bag for a remote somewhere around here. Goodness gracious. Where did they put it? I just want to make sure you folks know where to find everything. Plus, you guys are going to see it in these cabinets. Oh, there we go. Remote for your TV right here. Blue bag's gonna have all your manuals in it. And then there'll be a remote for your radio as well in here too. Yep, very simple. Definitely recommend reading through some of these when you get home, just so you can get a little bit better idea than the few minutes you have me for. Bathroom. Ooh, it's a big bathroom. Light switch. You can open and close this fan from here too. As you reset up a GFCI, this is the one. If any of the GFCIs would be tripped, this is the one you come in and reset it at. Toilet, super simple. As long as you're pushing this pedal down on the side, it's going to keep flushing. Your shower. Let's see if we can't. Open up. You got hot and cold. Nice tall shower. Some of them are really short. This one is nice because if you're taller, you actually have room to stand. These do magnet close, just like that. When you do transport this though, please clip this, secure this, so your shower doors aren't sliding around everywhere, banging into each other, and you might even come back after forgetting and then see one of these lying on the ground. So strap them closed like this. you shouldn't have any issues. Now we're coming into the final little bit. You also can get into the bedroom from either side. Switch for your bedroom light here. Access to the bedroom from the outside. Spot to mount a TV, as well as the power and cable for it. Dual outlets over the bed. USB port right over there. And then you have your generator start and stop. There's only enough fuel in here for us to test it, but all you gotta do is hold down stop. Do you see that red light? You'll even hear the fuel pump priming. Once it's primed, then you can hit and hold up and start, and generator will start. And you can read your generator hours right there. And then, bed does lift up for some storage underneath your bed, which is really nice. Actually, they call it a king size. These are like camper kings, so slightly smaller than a normal king. And then you do have emergency exit right here. All I gotta do is lift up like that. You can have it as a normal window if there's an emergency. You'd push this all the way through, grab the screen, pull it off, and then jump out the window. All right. That pretty much concludes our video tour. Actually, there's a few more things. I gotta make sure you guys know where you are. All your safety appliances. We did the propane alarm, fire extinguisher, and then you do have a smoke detector somewhere around here, right over there. So your smoke detector uses a 9-volt batteries. When those start dying, replace the battery. Not even showing it at the right spot. This is standard 9-volt battery, and they start giving those low voltage chirps. Replace the battery on them. More I'm forgetting. This does on Velcro, and this curtain will go all the way across to get the people sleeping here some privacy. And then this does unclip, and then you can just zip it all the way down to create like a patio. Alright, well, that concludes our video walkthrough of your Heartland Fuel. I really do like these fuels. I got a lot of spot. You could probably fit quite a few things back here. I like how it extends all the way further into here. Got lots of room, lots of spots for people to sleep. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found this video informative, and goodbye.